Welcome to Style with Trish. Today we have none other than Octavia Connor. She comes from Say Yes to Profits. We'll be right back.
Every day a woman reigns. It's time to live your dreams. Nothing's gonna stop you now. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Every day a woman reigns. Every day a woman reigns.
Welcome to Style with Trish. My guest today is financier, extraordinaire genius, none other than Octavia Connor, and she comes to us from Say Yes to Profits.
Yes.
Welcome to Style with Trish.
Thank you for having me.
You are hugely needed, not just in my life, but in so many others. I thought it was just a great opportunity to have you on the show today so that you can break down the importance of financing our dreams. We talk about pursuing your dreams and going after what it is that you love, but we all know that entails finances. So we wanted to bring you on today to share your expertise. If you can, share how you came up with Say Yes to Profits and give a little bit of your background, if you will.
Yes. So the name, I honestly was walking around my office and I was like, what do I want my clients to do? What do I want my clients to do? I was going through a rebranding process. And so I had been doing accounting for maybe 10, 11 years.
Okay.
And I wanted to do more than accounting, but still stay within that industry or field.
Right.
And so I was walking around the office. I was like, what do I want my clients to do? What do I want my clients? I want my clients to say yes to profits. I want my clients to say yes to profits. Aha, say yes to profits.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And it's, I just thinking of the name, it has a twist to it. And what is just now sinking in with me right now as you were speaking is it is about profits. It's about planning, but it's also about once you achieve a certain level, you do want to make profits.
Yes.
So what is some of the tips, or where would you have your clients start at? Where do we begin?
I always say to begin with your vision.
Okay.
Where do you want to go, right? Assemble your money vision. And so your money vision could be 1 year from the start date or 3 years from the start date.
Okay.
You want to assemble your money vision because then you reverse engineer. So how do you get to where you are versus, well, how do you get to where you're going versus where you are right now?
Okay. And so and it always comes with the vision and it comes with planning. Okay, so once we're in that mindset, okay, between 1 and 3 years, how do we start? Where do we go? What's the first step? I know it's with saving. What does it look like for us?
So once you get your vision and then you reverse engineer, you ask yourself, what do I need to do today, this week, this month, this year to achieve that 1 year goal, that 3 year goal? And that should bring thoughts and action items, or I call them money actions, that you need to implement in order to get to that next step.
Okay.
And then you create a budget.
Okay.
Because you need to know what parameters to stay within, and then you also create a wish budget.
Okay.
So it's 2 budgets for your vision.
Okay. And so what's the difference between the wish and the budget?
Okay, so your current budget may just be you and what you need. Your wish budget could include hiring an assistant or a team to support you. Your current budget could include where you are right now as far as traveling or equipment that you need. Your wish budget could include traveling to other states or internationally, or having more equipment to provide more services or whatever you're doing. So your wish budget is, I need this, and this. I need these individuals on my team. I need these supplies in order to go to the next level.
Okay, that makes sense. And because we were talking offset earlier, and one of the things, I was in music, and was a reoccurring thing that I found among my peers at that time was that we would plan for the studio, we would plan for the background singers and the photo shoots. We planned for that. But then once the project was completed, we did the whole big CD release party. And then after that, it's like, okay, well, what do? My product is just sitting here because I did not plan or budget for marketing, promotions, and all of that. And so you're saying, would that be a part of the wish, or should that be a part of the budget?
It should be a part of both.
Okay.
But your current budget is based on your current earnings, right?
Okay.
Your wish budget is based on when I get to this level, I know I need to invest more in marketing, more in supplies, more in travel, more in a staff. So it would actually be in both, but you take baby steps to get to your ultimate goal.
Okay. And so I got so many questions. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But, so we are looking at the budget. Okay. So now say we're established, say somewhat. We're somewhat established. We're checking off the boxes when it comes to our budget. How do we transition from, I don't know the correct terms, you're the finance person, but how do we transition from having to pay out to start receiving profit? And I know that's kind of like a broad question because it depends on what field or industry that you're in. But is there any way you can share just some type of tips? Like, for instance, I'll use the music. We'll use that as an example. In music sales, how is it a way that you can make profits other than just selling CDs?
Plan for profit.
Oh.
So let's say you want, in the end, when everything has been done, you've earned the money, you've spent out, you want to have 20% left over, right? For example, what must you charge so that the end result, you still have 20% left over? And so what a lot of people do is think about profits in the end. And they think about it from a perspective of, I hope I generate a profit. I think I generated a profit. No, we want to be proactive and plan ahead of time. So I know I want 20% left over. So that means I need to charge 20% more on each service, each item, each show, 20% more so that I can have 20% left over.
Okay, that makes sense. And so when we're budgeting and we're talking about the budget and we're talking about profit, and you said that you also plan for your profits, because we're planning, does that also include, okay, well, at the end of 2023, this is the amount that I'm looking at.
Yes.
Expound on that for me, please.
Yes.
Kind of like you do at home, or we hope you're doing at home with your home finances. But go ahead.
So you think, again, you really think about, where do I want to be? It all starts with, what is the end result? After everything is said and done, after I go to bed at night, after I close out this year and I'm reflecting on this year, what is the end result? And whatever that end result is, you have to plan for everything, down to the penny, down to every move that you make.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We're going to take a really quick break. And when we come back, we're going to share some more wonderful tips, financial tips, with our guest today, Octavia Connor. We will be right back. Welcome to Trish's Treasures. This is where I share some of my favorite beloved products that I use on myself with you. Another one of Trish's treasures is this beautiful tote right here. This tote is, of course, as you see, with African print, but I throw, when I'm coming to the studio like today, as you see, I have a lot in here that I throw in here, from shoes to clothes to cosmetics. But this is made by John and Juliana, and they are, of course, Black owned. They have different types of totes. She has skirts that she designs. She actually has a piece coming up at my next photo shoot that I will be sporting of hers. But Eden is an amazing woman and talent. I've been working with her since 2017, 2016, somewhere around there. And so she's very a great person and a wonderful creative. So make sure you go check her out. This is John and Juliana. They are on social media, and it is Black owned as well as a Trish treasure.
Hi, I am Octavia Connor, CEO of Say Yes to Profits.
Say Yes to Profits is a financial management consulting firm for service-based entrepreneurs and consultants who desire to have financial clarity, control, and confidence in their numbers so that they reduce business taxes and say yes to profit.
Our unique CFO services strategically combines bookkeeping, business strategy, business planning, and financial consulting together. And as a result, our clients, they grow faster.
We want you to smile when you log into your bank account. Now that is how you say yes to profits.
Every day a woman reigns. Every day a woman reigns.
Welcome back to Style with Trish. We're continuing our conversation with our guest today, Octavia Connor. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm learning so much from this show. But we started on the last segment talking about your background. Just give us a brief background to Say Yes to Profits.
Yes. So I started as a corporate accountant, climbed to a CFO of a pharmaceutical company, but I got to the point where I was a little bored. I was a little frustrated. I would walk in the office at 8 a.m. wishing it was 5 o'clock. Really didn't want to be there anymore. And at that time, my sister was expanding her business. She owned a childcare center in Atlanta, and I started helping her. And I started helping her part-time. I started going to networking events, and I always say that was when I was bit by the entrepreneur bug.
Okay.
And so after prayer and some guidance, I jumped out there, but I failed. The first time I thought I was going to be successful. I said, if I'm a CFO for this $1 million then $1 billion pharmaceutical company, I'm pretty sure I can do this for myself.
Right.
No, I didn't plan. I didn't have the right mindset. So I went through a stage where I called broke, busted, and disgusted. Yes, it was really bad. I had $152 negative in my bank account. Couldn't even afford a Happy Meal for my kids. It was really bad. But I started over. I started over, and then that is what birthed Say Yes to Profits. Focusing on not just the finances and the numbers, but what goes into that, the vision, the financial accountability, the profit plan that we were just talking about. And as they say, the rest is history.
And we're going to expound on the profit plan and kind of break that down here in a second. But what was it about your first failure that caused you, or what was it that happened during that time that caused you to go, oh, you know what, I'm going to try this thing again? What was it? Where was your mindset?
I knew I was supposed to do this. Okay. I had prayed about it. I felt like I got a yes. However, when I first started, I didn't have a plan. I didn't have the right mindset. It was just, I'm just going to go out there and do it. And so even though I was crushed and I had to go back to corporate America part-time and start over, it still was something inside of me saying, this is for you. And so when I started again, I approached it different.
Wow.
I would ask myself, what would the $1 million Octavia do? Even though I was nowhere near $1 million, what would she do? And I started to show up as that person.
Okay.
And make decisions as that person. But I always knew it deep down. I went through a stage of failure.
Wow. And I always say that those are your college years. That's where you pay your tuition, because that's where you get your most you learned the most during that stage. But now I'm learning right now. So I need you to break down what is all incorporated, because we keep talking about profit planning. What does that entail for the entrepreneur, for the business owner? Break that down for me.
So we have a 9-step framework and strategy that we take all of our clients through. When we get to the stage of profit planning, you have to think about your overhead costs. You have to plan for staff, whether you have staff right now. You have to plan for taxes, which a lot of business owners don't think about taxes until the end of the year. And then they have this huge tax bill that they could have avoided if they only planned for taxes and watch their progress along the way.
Right.
And then you also have to have an accounting system that you can access from any device that has internet, and you can, by the click of a button, see where you stand financially.
Okay. And that makes sense to me because, and it also depends on your industry because that could change. Like some industries, you may have to have a large amount of insurance, all of those type of things, healthcare benefits, depending on, the industry. So, that is what your firm helps with the businesses. Now let's talk a little bit about the importance of self-investing, because I know the first thing that people are going to say is, I can't afford a financial planner. But then if you look at it you can look at it both ways. But in your words and in your opinion, why is it important to possibly, that may be the route I would suggest it, to take on maybe a couple of months to take on a financial planner to assist, or take on your firm to assist in building their business?
Well, I often tell business owners, you're passionate about what you do. You have an expertise in a certain area. You may not have an expertise in accounting and financial management, and that's okay. You hire someone to help you. You hire someone that is 2 to 10 steps ahead of you so that they can get you to where you want to be faster. Oftentimes, business owners will think, well, I'm not going to hire an accountant, or as the services our firm provides as full service CFO services, they say, well, I'm not going to hire that person yet because I'm going to save money. But then in the end, you end up spending more money on things that could have been avoided. You end up taking the longer route when you could have had someone that guided you step by step in a strategic way on how to reach your goals faster. So what I often tell business owners is to try it. Try it. That's why at my firm, we don't tie anyone into a long contract, right? Because we want you to enjoy working with us as we want to enjoy working with you, and for you to see the benefits, so that when you have to invest in yourself by working with someone else, you're happy about that investment.
I think I think it's such a worthwhile investment to have. And one of the things that you and I, when you have a business, and we have the show here that we're doing, which I consider a business as well, sometimes you have to step out. Each season I try to do something different. I try to add on, whether it's advertising and all of that. And so this season, we're doing something different. We're going a different route, which requires self-investment. So how do you know when you're in this journey and you've been doing it for just a little bit, when it's time to kind of stretch out and do some PR or do different type of advertising, because you have developed some profit? How do you know when is a good time? I mean, would it fall into the wish budget or budget?
I think it falls into the wish budget because when you're ready to expand, for example, with PR, when you're ready to expand a little more, that again may be an area that you're not specialized in. So why spend your time doing that when you can hire someone that can do that for you, that has the connections, this is their passion, right? So that way you can operate within your passion. I do think from the beginning, everyone should have some type of advertising, but you may not have to jump out at that time with PR services. It could be social media advertising. It could be like advertising on Google or something. And then when you get to another level and you're ready to go to the next level, then you can think about PR services. But I also think in your budget for that, plan for that long before you're ready to make that investment.
Yes, that's smart. That's smart. We're going to take another really quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have more with Octavia Connor. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Cassandra Parks Evans, affectionately known as Dr. San, and this is your segment of Let's Learn Love.
Hey guys, we're here in the House of Love with our segment, Dr. Cassandra M. Parks Evans. And I just wanted to come in and hang out with her just to share this new series that we're going to be doing, and that it's, a little deeper than what we normally do here in Let's Learn Love, but we're going to get it done.
Yes.
Let's talk about intimacy, and we're going to talk about preserving a good sex life within a couple. And we have a couple of bullets that you're going to expound on, actually. The first one is communicating desires. Kind of expound on that.
Yes, communicating desires is very important, especially in any marriage, because who wants to stay in a stale place? You know what I'm saying? As we get older, we grow, we learn different things. We want to try different things. So being able to communicate that and our desires to change is very important. So our partner will know. One of the things that we do that we don't do enough of is communicating in our relationship when it comes to intimacy, because we're scared of what people will think about us, or we're just scared that maybe it looks too weird or, whatever. But if it's your sex life and it's important to you, you should be able to express it so that you get what you need and get it unapologetically.
And if you can't verbalize it, write it down.
That's true too. Sometimes what we have to do is we do have to write it down. And especially if you're going to talk to your mate, one of the things that you may want to do is write bullet points to keep you on track. Because sometimes, we get lost in a conversation. We go down a rabbit hole, so to say. And sometimes we need reminders to bring us back to what we want to say. So whenever you're talking to your partner about your desires, I would always say go and have bullet points so you'll stay on track and so you can fully say what you want to say. Well, this has been this segment of Let's Learn Love with Dr. Sand. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us so we can get those questions and get you answers. So until then, thanks for watching Let's Learn Love.
And we're back with Say Yes to Profits owner, none other than Octavia Connor, who is here with us, educating us on all things finance. And we have so much more conversation, so many more questions, but just on the entrepreneur aspect for you, how has that journey been, and how do you encourage yourself in slow seasons, and how do you stay ready in the busy seasons? How are you able to balance being an entrepreneur? And you mentioned you were a mom. How do you balance your life?
Well, honestly, for the entrepreneur side, I do a lot of mindset work. I say affirmations every day. I have a vision board in front of my desk. I have something that I recorded with my goals and scriptures, and I listen to it all night long. I do a lot of reflections and goal setting for every quarter in my business, every month in my business. Sometimes every day I'm writing in my reflections and in my journal rather, and trying to learn from everything that I went through. As far as being a mother, I have 4 babies.
Oh, wow.
Yes, my 2 oldest, they're in college, and I have 2 little ones that are still home. And we have mommy and me time a lot. I've been married now for 13 years.
Come on, girl.
13 years, I think. 13, 14 years. But I just make sure I spend time with family.
Yeah.
And my husband owns a business as well. But when we are spending time together, we try to do no business talk. Just totally family, movie night, things like that. So I wouldn't say it is balanced. It's more of focusing on what is happening at that time. Whether I'm with my girls, whether I'm with my son, whether I'm with my husband, focusing on that moment, right? Because you can never get those back. So.
And where would you like to see, because us as a community, I really want to touch on this on air, because we talk so much off air, but us as a community, and us as a community, it has always been, or we've always found it, it's getting a little better now, where we've struggled in the area of finance. Where would you like to see us as a community as a whole? And I thank you for being a face that looks like me and being in this particular industry, because it makes it so much easier for us to reach out and learn about finances. But where would you like to see us as a community in the next couple of years? Because we've always struggled in that particular area.
I would like to see us grow more. I think we are moving towards that direction, maybe a little slower than some, but I do think we're moving towards that direction. So I would love to see more companies offer education and start my nonprofit. We're starting in the elementary schools, the high schools, the middle schools, and starting to educate our kids, because they're the next generation and they need to know how to manage their money. They need to know how to invest. They need to know how to build generational wealth and leave a legacy for years to come. But oftentimes we don't receive that type of knowledge in our communities.
Yes.
So we have to start when our kids are young and continue to educate them so that they become young adults, but they become financially wealthy young adults and pass it down for generations to come.
Yes. And you mentioned your nonprofit. What's the name of your profit?
Octavia Helping Hands.
Yes. So, and I love nonprofits, especially that one. How does it work? Are you willing to come into, I know you mentioned schools, but how would someone be able to reach out to you to have you come, even in churches? We need it everywhere.
Absolutely. Just contact us at Octavia at Say Yes to, or Success at SayYesToProfits.com and just let us know. We're actually in the process, as of the taping of this show, getting the website built. Once the website is built, they can go on the website, because we're going into the churches and the schools and all over Atlanta to start. We do an annual back to school event where we're not only giving away school supplies, but we're educating them there at the event. So definitely just reach out to us right now at Say Yes to Profits. But I would say in the next couple of weeks, the actual Octavia Helping Hands website will be up.
Awesome. That is a great thing. I mean, I love hearing it. Any way we can support, I would be glad, because I think that is just so important. And we talk about generational wealth and passing that down. And I think that's the first step into financial freedom. Starting from the bottom, zero, is really hard to build. You're able to do it, but it's really hard. But to be able to pass on wealth is very important. So we have a few minutes left, and I don't want to go off air without you sharing some encouraging words, inspiring words, whatever it is, whether it's in entrepreneurship, whether it's in finance, whatever way you want, if you would share that with our audience.
I would say start from where you are and take baby steps. Often we look at others and make decisions and judge ourselves based on where we see another person, right, in their growth. Don't judge your step 1 based on their step 20. So start from where you are, take baby steps, and every day celebrate the small wins, because the small wins will lead to bigger wins and successes.
Absolutely. I love it. I love you. We're definitely going to connect. This is not our first meet. It's our first meeting, but it's not our last.
Yes.
But I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Style with Trish. Guys, we will be right back.
Hi, I am Octavia Connor, CEO of Say Yes to Profits. Say Yes to Profits is a financial management consulting firm for service-based entrepreneurs and consultants who desire to have financial clarity, control, and confidence in their numbers so that they reduce business taxes and say yes to profit.
Our unique CFO services strategically combines bookkeeping, business strategy, business planning, and financial consulting together. And as a result, our clients, will they grow faster?
We want you to smile when you log into your bank account. Now that is how you say yes to profits.
Hi, my name is Trish Standley, and I'm the host of Style with Trish. Be sure to check our show out on every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our new network, VTV Network. All you have to do is download the free app, and you can view our show on Amazon Prime, Roku, Apple TV, as well as Android. Be sure to check out all things Trish at trishstanley.com. Remember, this is the place where the everyday woman reigns.
Every day a woman reigns. Every day a woman reigns.
I'd like to thank today's guest, Octavia Connor from Say Yes to Profits. I don't know about you, but I learned an awful lot in this show today, because we always want to jump out. And I know I say it all the time, live your dream and fulfill your passion. But there is some planning in that is necessary, definitely on the financial side. And I think what I took away from her the most is that wish budget. I would kind of blur and combine my wish budget with my regular budget. And there needs to be a separation. And there is so much importance to planning for profit. Even. So I learned a lot, and I hope that you did too. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's show. As I always say, love isn't love unless you give it away. Give some love away today.